All right, real with Robo. Good morning, y'all. There's a lot of things I want to touch on because I promised my friends here on YouTube and Facebook I'd keep up to date with the Cannon Hinnat case. And right now, the gentleman Sims is in jail, and he's being held on no bond for first-degree murder. Okay, so that's one. Number two, the mom and the dad are calling for the death penalty. And me personally, I don't agree with the death penalty, but in this case, I do. Because, there's no one more deserving in my mind right now. But let me get real. The mom went on the news and she said she didn't see what race had to do with anything. Basically, she doesn't see the racism in this case. And that was very extraordinarily mature of her. Because let me explain where the racism runs in this case. And it's not because, the man who committed the murder, he was hating on the kid because he was white, okay? But the simple fact is that people turned it into a race issue, which is one thing that everybody is damn good at these days, is turning everything into a race issue. I mean, and people poke and prod at racial things every single day. Like, for real. Like the bikers that went on a ride, it said on their shirts, "I can't ride. All lives matter." Okay, that was one. Two, the three commenters, one of whom I've been told, commented to make fun of BLM, and he ended up getting caught up because people, don't know how to take a joke. And, well, it was a joke made in very poor taste.
And sarcasm's lost in type.
Very much so. You have to literally tell people, I'm being sarcastic, or I'm making fun of BLM. So I don't know how much truth to that story there is, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Also, because if you look, you will see in a heartbeat of it happening, like not even 2 seconds after it happens, people are all over the web saying about injustice for black children being murdered by white people, black criminals being murdered by white cops, even a black girl getting her dreads cut by 3 little white boys. And then they find out it's all a lie, and now they have to walk everything back. But it's apparent that racism sells. And that's sad to say in this case. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. As far as why he did it, maybe you should ask the defense lawyer. If you're so adamant about getting the death penalty off the case table, why don't you have your client tell me why he did it? I also think it's unfair to the parents and family of Mr. Sims that people are running around saying, oh, she didn't raise her kid right, or oh, this and that happened, oh, this and that happened. It's like, how they didn't raise their kids right? At a certain age, parents have no control over what their kids do. I mean, there is stuff that my adult kids do that I do not agree with. But what I can do about it? They their own person, you know? And they do what they feel is right. And so it's nothing about my raising, nothing about their raising. It's nothing about them. You need to keep your head on the facts here of the case. Did his mama run out there with the gun and do the crime? Did his daddy do that? Did his family do that? No, they didn't. So how the hell you gonna tell somebody they responsible for a crime if they not responsible, if they didn't do nothing? And that falls into the race thing too. How are you gonna tell somebody that they're responsible for slavery when they had no freaking thing in slavery? It's the stupidest thing ever. His mama right now is trying to get over or get through the death of her child. She ain't trying to hear she wants a death penalty because she wants to kill a brother. Excuse me, on that same note, that brother done killed her son. So if she want to kill a brother because the brother killed her son, I think that's fair. I think that's a little fair. And I'm keeping it real.
And so do a bunch of y'all, because y'all think the same way when it's the other way around.
Yeah. You put the shoe on the other foot, it's your child, and a white man kill your child, you gonna want death for him too.
Hell, it don't matter what color they are.
This is ridiculous though. This is ridiculous. The argument of race over this child. And the argument stating that dude mama and his daddy were responsible and they raised their kids wrong. Then why don't they have a whole bunch of kids that are murderers if they raised one wrong? And then people say, oh, well, you know, if they didn't give him a place to stay, if ifs and ands were pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen. And that's real. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm feeling bad for the mama because I know how it feels to lose a child. I done worked through my grief. And I've accepted it through my religious beliefs that my child that I lost, both of my children, one by very horrific circumstances, the other one by a man that couldn't keep his hands to himself, and I miscarried. I know that they'll be up in heaven waiting for me. So I've worked through my grief. But the simple fact of the matter is that mama is stating she don't want no racism connected with this. And what's the first thing everybody do? Connect racism with this. And I'm not excusing the media for not covering this, because to be honest, to keep it real, you know, it's a hometown story. And while we all mourn for the loss of life, we should also respect her wishes. I mean, these people are her neighbors. Like, she don't want no foul thing to be committed on her neighbors, not in her son's name. I know that because I listen to the lady and I could feel what she likes. She a kind, loving mama, you know. And with that, I'm asking folk to stop being so petty. The mama has every right to want to know why. The mama has every right to want to know why, if he was a criminal, why he had a gun. The mama has every right to ask for the death penalty. Now me, I'm sadistic. I wouldn't ask for the death penalty. I would ask for him to be put in solitary confinement for the rest of his life. Because the death penalty give them a nice little padded cell all nice, where they could put all their stuff and love letters and hang them up on the wall and have their own little space and whatnot. So no, I would be sadistic, ask to where he be put in solitary confinement where he could think about what he did for the rest of his life, never be let out of solitary confinement into general pop, never none of that, so that he could be alone by himself for the rest of his life and watch him go insane. Put it on video. Make it a live video so we can watch him go insane. But that's for anybody that kill a kid. I'm sadistic like that. However, the people saying, oh, she just want to kill somebody. No, she wants to kill the person that killed her son. And back in the day, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth is real. Except for, see, she didn't go over to his house and murder him. Or she didn't go over to his house and murder one of the kids over there because their family murdered. Somebody from their family murdered her kid. But that's how justice and honor used to work. If you did something like that, you dishonored your whole family. And they'd shun you. But they would expect retaliation. Nowadays, we've got a little more civilized. But still, my heart goes out to the mama. My heart, I can't even get to the point where I could explain it in words. My heart goes out to you, mama. You poor darling. You didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this. Nobody deserved this. For whatever reason. And it's not fair what they're saying about you. It's not fair what they're saying about other people. It's not fair. And maybe that's what's wrong with America, is we just so wrapped up in our own stupidity we can't think beyond 2 inches of our nose. And my heart goes out to the mama and daddy and family of Mr. Sims. It ain't no place of anybody to say that you raised your kid wrong. 'Cause this ain't the way you raised him. Tell me I'm a lie. And at a certain point in time, the child becomes its own person. And it do what it want. Regardless if the mama and the daddy agree with it. It is completely and totally on Mr. Sims for what he did. He the one who took the gun, pulled the trigger, killed somebody. That was him. Not his mama, not his daddy, not his family. So lay off. The mama of Cannon has every right, Conan has every right to be pissed off and want that man to fry in the electric chair. She has every right to that. Every right. So don't twist it with your ugliness and say, oh, it's because, the mama want to kill the brother, this, that, and the other thing. Shut up. You sound stupid. And that's exactly what I put on that article that I saw. I said, shut up, you sound dumb. Like real talk. Now my heart goes out to the mama. I can't even fathom what you're going through right now. I could fathom the part where you lost your child. I could fathom that. I've been there. But I cannot fathom the way you lost your child. I cannot fathom that. But I did wanted to answer you and tell you why people are making this racial. And how it's becoming racial. It's because in the media they are quick to get on the head of a white person doing anything, but they ain't quick to get on the head of a black person doing anything to a white person, because that's the narrative. They want us divided. They want us to hate each other. And this just goes to show how far it has gone, to where people cannot even respect death. The death of a child. They can't even respect that and keep it out that realm. But I'm done talking about this. As you could hear, I'm getting really emotional. But I want to send my deepest condolences out to the mama and the daddy and the family of Conan. Robo here for you if you need me. If you need a shoulder, you come to me. You cry on my shoulder. I got 2 of them, so you can wet up one. Got plenty. Another one, when this one wet, you could trade over to that one. I got you. And to the parents and the family of Mr. Sims, people need to lay off you too, because that wasn't your fault. You did not hold a gun. And if anybody is responsible, and he was a felon, I'm not saying he was, I'm saying if he was a felon, then we need to check why he had a gun and whose responsibility it was to watch him. Which PO's responsibility it was to watch him, because y'all POs are failing, seriously and in real life. But I do not blame the family of Mr. Sims on this, not at all, not one little bit. Because I'm pretty sure they did not raise their child to do something like that. So stop blaming the family of Mr. Sims. It wasn't their fault. Parents can only do the best they can, and then hope that their children bring them honor when they're alive. So stop it. Stop being ugly. Anyway, yeah, that's real with Robo.